Hey, here we go. Right on, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you do it. Congratulations on another beautiful day in a wonderful world, in a galaxy inside of a universe. Yep, that's apparently where we are, as far as I can tell. Congratulations for making it this far. You are an absolute miracle. The numbers and odds were stacked against you, yet here we are. Now, I'm going to go over Bitcoin's price. It is a little bit of a shorter video. We want to do some price predictions on the far out extensions, just because I think that is always a little bit fun. And then, because again, it's a short day, it's beautiful out in the jungle, I'm going to party at an infinity pool with some other investor friends. I think it's going to be exciting. So again, I apologize, today's short video, no time to answer your guys' questions, just Bitcoin price predictions. First, how high? Well, no, first, how low? I don't want to give you the middle finger. And then second, how high? So we're going to start with that. And we're going to dive in and hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is Bitcoin on the daily. If you've been following our channel for quite some time, you'll know exactly what we're looking at. We have been following this exact chart since March. Nothing has changed. Our outlooks have stayed exactly the same. And it is wonderful to see them play out, especially the top hit of this regression line here, which is a really unique moment to see. I love when we hit these regression lines and turn around. Now, I want to take a look at the shorter time frame, but remember guys, an SOS is usually followed by a backup phase or some type of LPS at the very least. Now, a big part of the question is how low will the LPS of this backup phase come, right? So our primary SOS and LPS was here effectively with very little backup before we blew up. Now, a lot of the times what you want to see is a return to the 21-week moving average, not the exponential moving average, but your simple moving average. That itself shows up. We could take a look at this. Actually, we'll do it before we dive into the minutia. But if we roll out to the weekly here and we open up our triple moving average, you can see you have this nice area between 17 and 23,000, which is what I would like to see. Now, a lot of people in the sector right now are like, oh my God, we'll never go that low because there's so many big institutional investors. Yet what they don't yet recognize or have failed to recognize is that the institutional investors can also very easily drive the price down because it's a very limited liquid supply on the open market. So if they come back to the open market to take some of their profits, they can very easily push the price down. It is not in their best interest for it to just only keep going higher. What they want to do is scare retail out and then take more of their Bitcoin or take more of that Bitcoin into their holdings for cheaper. So we're looking for a return down at around 23,000 would be fantastic. Maybe even as low as 17,000. Although even if we did see that, it would be for a microsecond. So it's much closer to my mind that we would see the 23,000. Also on the log chart, this is another really kind of functional, useful way to look at the 21-week moving average. And as you can see, even on the log chart, you're sitting between 17 and 23,000. So it doesn't really change anything in terms of our moving average story. So we'll switch back here. We'll take a look at this view. Again, remembering that we've been following this exact chart from our Wyckoff studies of the accumulation and distribution time for months now. So it's important to remember that when you're following something for so long, you don't want to get caught up in the hype cycle, which is what happens. Again, knowing that we are up so high is because institutional price or buying can drive the price up just as easily as it can drive the price down. So if we look at the minutia here, this is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. We could very easily hypothesize a type of head and shoulders, which is often how you see vertical top blow-offs before we see some type of retracement. You can see that there's a diminished buying signal even as well. Even this buying here right at the moment isn't showing a whole lot of demand, although we did get some big signatures in here. These could be institutions that don't necessarily care about price and are thinking just the same thing we are, which is Bitcoin's probably going to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So anywhere between here and $20,000 is a good price. And they do the same thing. They accumulate on a monthly basis and they don't really think about their what's the best price I can get. Their goal is to buy through time. So as we start to look at some of the smaller time frames, what we're going over in the private group is looking at these trading ranges. Now, one could make the okay, well, is this a head and shoulders? Will we see a breakdown below the neckline here? There's a high potential of that. But again, what we want to remember, guys, is if you're new to this market, which I'm assuming most of you are, if you're not trading and you're just spot buying, don't really worry. Like for instance, not financial advice, but I'm not worrying about selling profits here because I'm waiting for Bitcoin to go to like hundreds of thousands of dollars before I'm interested in liquidating my long-term investment position, and not liquidating it entirely, just like shaving profits. Institutions do the same thing. They look for particular targets, and around 40 to 50 grand was probably one of their initial targets. So a big part of the question that we want to follow through now is this new trading range that's forming. Here is our selling climax and our first automatic rally. So what we need to see now is a spring, and then maybe a break above, and the potential. Look, Bitcoin could go to $50,000 or $60,000 still before we see a larger climactic drop. Again, the institutional selling can push us down much faster than anyone would anticipate. And it doesn't need to follow this like 20% rule of drawdowns. Now, that's a great way to trick people into thinking that, so that when a bigger drop comes, they're kind of left holding the bag or getting liquidated for longs or short positions. So what we want to do is be really patient for this new trading range that's forming. So what we do is we draw our horizontal line, and over the next few days, as this develops, we're going to know, will it go higher or will it go lower? Again, it could go higher first before going lower. Now, let's go to the fun part. How high do we think Bitcoin will go maybe over the next 18 to 20 months? Okay, so these are the two regression lines that we jumped in. Obviously, you can see at the $23,000 mark, there was a lot of resistance. As soon as we broke that, we went from 23,000 all the way to the next regression line. These regression lines are very powerful for that reason, and they represent like this stair-step fashion, basically off of some of our previous areas of support and resistance. So what we do to measure the potential future is quite a fun one. So for here, we're going to take the primary top of the SOS down to the spring, which could easily bring us to $75,000. So again, what we could be witnessing here is a reaccumulation range before a bigger move up and then a bigger drawdown. That's a very high potential possibility as well. So again, we're keeping in mind, we want to follow each of these trading ranges and not guess, but be patient and wait, because each of these represents a new opportunity to really slam home some big gains. So one of the fun parts is to take now our Fibonacci retracement tool. Again, remember guys, when we take from this primary regression line at around 23,000, we draw it down to the bottom of our spring, which happened in March. Our 4236 line is easily up at around $80,000. And this is, I suspect, where over the next maybe 2 to 5 years, we will find major support and resistance, like a major support, somewhere between like $80,000 to $100,000. But let's be a little bit more charismatic and outlandish and do what we did the other day with Ethereum, which is you take the current regression line, which is even higher, and then you draw all the way down to the spring. And this will represent what I believe will be kind of our climactic high, which is around $180,000. Now, we could make conjecture that Bitcoin could go 240, 300 something thousand dollars, but there's a lot of reason to believe that this 4236 line based off this primary regression is where we are going to over the next 18 months. $180,000 Bitcoin. So again, for those of you that are buying spot, or if you're building a long-term investment portfolio, the best thing that you can do is just accumulate on a monthly basis and not really think about the price. That's like the best way to manage any portfolio. It gets rid of a lot of emotion and allows you to invest A, objectively, and B, logically, which are both fantastic ways to invest. If you're investing emotionally and irrationally, you're going to fail, you're going to lose money, you're going to be like, I'm getting out of a trade, and then before you know it, you're not even interested in crypto more, and you're out doing something else with your life. Investing should be looked at for the long term, and those people who are interested in free money invariably pay the high cost of proving that it does not exist anywhere on this earth. So please remember that patience here is going to be one of your consistent drivers. So what we're watching right now is, again, a potential of what looks like a potential hypodermic top, or what some people call a head and shoulders. So we're going to want to watch this trading range very closely. Do we see a spring, a break back above the trading range? Then we're going to like $70,000 or $80,000 next. Very high potential of that. Or do we break down below this trading range, see a UTAD, and then a breakdown, and do we go to around $23,000? Don't think that we can't go lower just because there's institutional buyers here. Institutional buyers can easily drive retail price down to 20 grand just to try to shake out that last little bit of weak hand Bitcoin before we go to the moon. So don't be one of those weak hands that gets shaken out. If you did buy Bitcoin at 40 grand and it's your first time, or Ethereum at these high prices and it's your first time, be patient. If you're like, oh my God, I'm losing money. And well, first off, you're paying for a very useful lesson, which is that investing takes time. It's not something that's going to make you rich overnight, but it will make you wealthy over the long term. And that is by building personal development, patience, and experience. Those are all very important things to have in life. Anyways, those are my predictions. Upwards of $180,000 Bitcoin based off the current regression lines, maybe even higher for like crazy blow off tops. And again, we saw that with Bitcoin in 2017. We made conjecture of around 17 grand and we went to 21. People are like, oh, you were wrong at 17. It's like, we were at 3 grand when I said that. Like, how was I wrong? I was close. And that's the thing. You don't want to pick exact tops and you don't want to pick exact bottoms. If you are even remotely close, you're making a good investment decision. Anyways, guys, this is Tia with the Arcane Bear. Let's do a little bit of shilling. Hey, if you're new and you want to join our private group, the links are down below. It's a no risk opportunity for you, because if you sign up and you're not happy, we give you your money back. No questions asked. You can even stay for the entire month of your membership and be like, you know what? I'm not happy. Or even if you did like it and you want your money, great, fine, here you go. Because we are building such a powerful mastermind, and we've had so few people actually leave that mastermind. So why not take the risk and jump in? Again, everything that we're going over can be studied for free on the internet as well. Just look up Richard D. Wyckoff and read the countless books that are based around this trading methodology. We are not going to go over Ethereum today. I do not have any time for questions because I'm going to go to a pool party because it is sexy in the jungle right now. So thank you guys for supporting the Arcane Bear. Give us a thumbs up. I'm really excited because there is still ample room for a lot of really exciting opportunities here. Again, we want to be really interested in this trading range. So I will be back here again with you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. For all of you that liked my I Did Ayahuasca video last night, thank you. Oh, and one last thing. I want to actually give a shout out to one of the private bear. Let's see here. Yes, I want to give a shout out to Eric Hagen, who watched one of our videos the other day and said, thank you for mentioning Kiva.org in your YouTube videos. I donated today's earnings to Kiva because of you. Greetings from Norway to the jungle of Costa Rica. Well, greetings and thank you to Eric Hagen for helping out underbanked entrepreneurs who made a contribution of $4,200 as well. And this is the power of a community. I wanted to make sure Eric got a shout out because I love that we can highlight Kiva and more people join the Arcane Bear team. So if you guys want, go join the Arcane Bear team and we can all make loans together, helping the underbanked and the underserved. That is why I showed up in this sector. And again, if you haven't yet, please follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/the Arcane Bear, or you can follow me on Instagram as well. Although I only post photos of like cute booties and charts. So if you're into booties and charts, you can follow me on Instagram. If you're into me talking about stuff that's a bit more important, probably, you can follow me on Twitter, and we will continue to do these live streams. And if you're interested in the mastermind, join the links down below. Tia with the Arcane Bear. I'm sorry this is a short episode, guys. I'm sorry I'm not looking at your comments and questions, but I'm going to go have a TO day. That's what I'm going to do. So see you guys again on the other side. We're going to leave you out with the intro and outro.